So we have with us Mr. Samir, who's from Apraava Energy. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us. It's all
Welcome.
I would like to start with on a very positive note. Like, we strongly believe that CFOs are the next CEOs. What are your views?
You think it's a simple question? That's a difficult one for me. The first statement is not all CFOs can become CEOs. It is not about their technical knowledge. It's about their skill sets and the soft skills which make the difference. So it is very disheartening for some of the CFOs to see that a CFO is making such a statement. But that's the reality. As you move up the ladder, not as somebody told me, if you become a chartered accountant and you're in the industry, it's not necessary you'll become a CFO. So what is important is the skill set. The skill set of a CFO and a CEO is significantly different. The CFO is even now is supposed to be a gatekeeper. But when you aspire for a larger role, the first and the most important thing is you should have the ability to take stress. Stress levels for CEOs are very high. And the CFOs will look at certain things, and if they can't handle, they could pass it on to the CEO. The second thing is, it's very lonely at the top. And when you're in the corner room, it's very lonely. So people who can handle that sort of stress will move into that room. That's the first one. The second is you need to be a people's man. People's man doesn't mean you sit in your cabin and you call people in. Just go around, meet the people at the sites, because people respect that the CEO has come and spoken to them. You may not meet everybody one-to-one. So, coming back to your question, it is all about the soft skills. So that's one. The last but not the least is the ability to take risk. Inherently, CAs are not taught to take risk. And to transit into that larger role, you should have the ability to take risk, which is not normal for a CA to do. So you have to make those sort of changes before you can aspire to get into the corner seat.
Interesting, sir. You mentioned a very important and a slightly different perspective, which you're in. Since you mentioned about skill sets, what are the three key skill sets that you look for in a future CFO that are really important?
So a CEO, the CFO needs how to learn to disrupt his or her job. And it's a very difficult thing, because when you can't disrupt your job, you feel that, you actually stagnate if you don't disrupt your job. The second thing which a CEO or a CFO, or for that matter, any CXO needs to do is to upskill themselves. And upskilling is not easy, because once you've reached a certain level, you can sit back and enjoy, the fruits of your labor. But if you want to reach the corner spot, you need to upskill yourself. And what do you mean by upskilling? Somebody could say, oh, I'm already a chartered accountant. I know the accounting standards. I know how to do financing. It's not about that. As the respective industries change, you should be abreast of the latest regulations. You should be abreast of the latest trends. You should be aware what the competition is doing. And last but not the least, take a call when nobody else is ready to call in an organization. And what I've seen is most of the CAs need to build that skill set. And the contrary part to that is you should have the ability to delegate. Because the fear is that if I delegate and something goes wrong, I am the person who's going to be shot by the board.
Absolutely. Definitely, sir. Largely agree with that answer. Lastly, what is a key takeaway from these sessions that you attended today and yesterday? And why is it important for CFOs to participate in that from the
Oh, I thought you'll ask me too, but this seems to be the most difficult. Let me tell you, there are many such platforms. But what makes a difference, and this is going to be very controversial. The advantage you have of creating this platform is people love to see themselves on screen. People heard, and people like when you let speak about themselves in
people like to
get covered in print. So they will obviously go where they get that chance, because they believe, not they, I'm also a CFO. So, okay, let me put it, I also believe that if I get that exposure, why shouldn't I go there? It's a matter of being seen. The challenge for a lot of CFOs in this aspect on these forums is most of the people look for listed company CFOs. And the interest is not in the unlisted, because people in the public domain. I have seen when a CFO of an unlisted company lists itself, there is suddenly, in the media, and the
Yeah.
people at large, they look at him very differently, as if he's God has given him 4 wings now. But that's not true. But this program is good in the sense, and which is distinct from others, is, and which you will need to build up on, is the compares need to be not from the CFO fraternity, because they get carried away and they start giving their own views on lots of things. There are a few exceptions, they're really good, but for this to be a success, you need two guys who don't have a vested interest. Because when a CFO is standing moderating a CFO conference, he or she will give their views of what they have on life, but that's not the intention of that thing. The intention is to get everybody on board, and that's why one of the first sessions was good, because everybody was involved. I hope you take criticism in the way I meant it, is not to run people down, but that's what I look at.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for that insightful, honest, most importantly, honest answer. It was a pleasure having you here, and all the best to Apraava and for all the future.
Thank you.